preseason edition Madden Men NFL season for the 2015 season, Madden 2016. It's our first. Actually, this isn't official. It's preseason.
This is
practice.
Still preseason. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome, everyone. So for sure, preseason with the dropping of the game and some personal stuff going on at home. This is the preseason that we're giving you, even though it didn't quite line up, I don't think, with the real preseason. But it is what it is. We get Patriots versus the Panthers in my kind of favorite quarterback versus clearly yours right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this was a game that I was excited to see, for sure, even if it is just a preseason game. And the good thing about it not being a for sure preseason game is that the starters got to stay in all game long.
That's right. We had some Kelvin Benjamin and Jordy Nelson on the field. And
getting popped as you say that, as I'm talking about him being one of my favorites. So Kelvin Benjamin, Jordy Nelson, yeah.
Guys that are injured, plus Brady, Newton, Gronkowski in all game. This is not just a preseason NFL preview, but a preseason game for us as we're still warming up to the game.
Still learning the game. That's what it was above all for, well, both of us, I'm sure. I saw your ex-receiver over there actually had a shot at me, but it's hard to ignore Gronk.
There is, and it is, and there are routes. Just talking about the game for a second, there's routes that are opening up this year that didn't last year.
Right.
There are reasons to throw to receivers that LaFell gets the interception on his own guy. We got a first down. I can't be mad at him, but reasons to throw the ball downfield more than ever.
Yeah, that's clearly the big push with this Madden game, for better or worse. And I say that because it is definitely a gift and a curse, what EA has chosen to do with the passing game. You guys will see, I guess, some hints at that. I don't think there's any really egregious stuff that happens in this game, but we'll take a look and see. Patriots just methodically going down the field on us, just chipping away on a defense that I was hoping, for sake of an interesting NFC South season, a defense that I was thinking was going to be pretty stout.
And they still could be. Yeah. Luke Kuechly, if he has not shown up yet, you will notice him a couple times in this game. He makes some plays.
Okay.
The defense is
nice
overall pretty good.
I don't even know that was a blitz. It's probably. Oh wow, the guy's wide open over there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try and pound you with Cam.
Hit the first. Jonathan Stewart.
Actually,
feels like he's been around forever. Still in the Carolina backfield.
I drafted him last night on my draft champions team. Give it up. Run through him.
Oh,
run through him.
There's a number 43 running a screen on me. I've seen way too much of that over the last year.
So we're going to screen it to the left this time. And it's strange the way some tackles you can get away from and some you can't. You can dropping dimes, by the way.
Sometimes,
but
And look at this. Look at this sneaky, tricky
You know what?
play. I thought I was playing in the NFL.
I'm trying to add some options to my game this year.
Yeah,
so,
big credit for running that play to you. And I'll have to admit, it caught me completely off guard.
Good.
Just a stretch run here from Stewart, who's going to bounce way outside, and number 21 never has a chance.
For the sake of safety, the camera angle that I play at doesn't give me a full glimpse of what's happening over there, and I knew there was only one person there, so let me make sure I get a shot at him before I move. You guys noticed a little replay action new to us for 2016 or for Madden 16.
That's right.
I think I was backing up too much. I should have attacked that ball a little bit more. Maybe I would have been rewarded with the pick.
What a bad drop from Gronkowski.
Yeah, what a bad drop from Gronk.
What causes the drop, though, it looks like the receiver just gets on his arm as he's coming down and knocks the ball out.
We talked about that deep game, and those that play the game already know the deep ball is heavily emphasized on the game, or receiving is heavily emphasized on the game, I should say.
But especially 15 to 20-plus yards downfield, the receiving really changes up.
Oh, yeah. The deep game is something serious. But what I'm finding, our initial complaints for anyone, go, get out of the way! What I'm finding there is that coverage isn't as bad as it seems. Wow, that was close. He had a shot at it, too. Coverage isn't as bad as it seems, because one of the things that they added to the game, in addition to the aggressive catching, which makes your guys receivers go up and snag the ball out of the air and run after catch, so they catch the ball and keep on running, and conservative catching, or we'll say, what is it, like sure hands catching,
like possession
receiving.
Yeah.
All of these things are done with different buttons, and that's cool and new, and something they've added. But what they added to defense is 2 ways of defending passes. You can kind of aggressively go after the ball, or you can go after the receiver by pressing 2 different buttons. You see X showing up there. Press X for run after catch. He'll catch the ball and keep on running. If you press Y on defense, your guy will attack the ball. If you press A, he'll attack the receiver. And what I'm finding is that those attack the receiver animations, you get rewarded for that with a lot of drops when people touch the ball. And sometimes it seems like a real ripoff, but the game seems like a ripoff a lot of times. But it seems like a ripoff when people drop the ball, but it's because you press the right button.
Right.
And it's more of a chess match, or there's a lot of paper, rock, scissors in this game.
Right. That makes sense, and I guess I largely agree with that. The place where I don't necessarily agree with it is on very deep passes, where it's over the top. I feel like in a one-on-one situation, as long as you have a same or greater than height advantage, the receiver tends to have a heavy advantage this year.
Yeah.
But I will say that after looking at replays and really giving it a chance, I feel like you're right about most of the other stuff. It's just those one-on-one deep routes can be a little frustrating.
Deep routes can, you're not going to hear me deny that. The deep ball is, some tuning needs to happen. You can see what they were trying to do. It's clear that some tuning needs to happen from EA. And I'm saying I'm sure it's going to happen, but that really is just me saying, just give the ball to the receiver over there. Come on, bro.
Well, he got it over there.
Yeah.
Tolbert with the first.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm really saying is that I hope EA handles their business.
That would have been a pretty one.
Yeah,
last year that would have been one, I think. Was it a little too low to the ground?
Yeah, I think so.
Please
move, bro.
That screen was pretty far out. Like maybe it wasn't even a screen. Maybe it was just to the back.
Don't do that.
A lot of guys there.
Yeah. We could feel it happening, couldn't we, guys? We could feel that happening. It could have been worse.
I do like, and I think you've said it too, the return game does not seem overly advantageous for the offense, but it does feel like you're not just receiving the kick and getting tackled.
Yeah.
So on the punts especially, another
drop. Gronkowski drop. Bro.
But they are grabbing his arms. I'll give him that, although
but
he makes up for it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to give up on him.
There came a point where I was like, okay, Gronkowski isn't going to do anything to me, but the only way for me to prevent him from doing anything is to actually guard him, and I wasn't. See, that time I ran over to him, but he still smokes me.
He just gets open. I guess he has good release. A couple plays ago with Blunt, I was having trouble steering him, and I've had that a little bit this year. I think I'm going to have to adapt to the running game a bit because I feel like I could have got way more yards.
Boom.
Yeah. Good job on LaFell getting the corner out of the way.
Yeah, he did. Okay, that was nice. Yeah, I finally was there a little bit, and you wisely... I think we talked about this. It was time to go to someone else.
We talked about this when we were playing the game, that it was time to go to Edelman because I hadn't used him enough, and it was the Gronkowski show all the way up until then.
And Edelman just sneaks in with his "don't forget about me" mentality.
So it's tight game in the fourth. 7-7 going
Tight
in.
game.
Just scored. Oh,
And
but then
horrible pass.
Cam with his sidearm passing.
A horrible pass.
And you know what the Patriots are going to try to do here. Let's take a little time off the clock.
Absolutely.
They're chopping away at it. Oh.
That defense has been there. A couple of goofy drops, but a couple of just how does that happen?
NFL gets
Roman
yards
Harper's
after catch.
500 years old. That's how it happens. Roll Tide. Nice cut. Way to stay inside. All right, so Ted Ginn.
I'm
not sure what happened there. But we get to the 21, so it's all good.
You're not as fast as you used to be, Ted Ginn. You're starting to get up there in NFL years.
Another screen. No problem.
There seems to be a bit more of a. Oh, and here's the scary ones.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, Cam overthrows them both, just barely. But anyway, the screen game doesn't seem as completely dominant as it was last year. It seems like the defenders do have a somewhat higher percentage chance of getting there.
It does seem
nice run by Cam here, though. He dives head first, which I think any other quarterback should not do that, but Cam can usually get away with it.
Yeah, the good old Vic dive. I learned from watching you, all right? Hit him with another screen. My blocker, I feel like
goes after the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Get a bit more yardage if he goes to the outside. Oh, almost a tipped interception. There's a lot of tipped interceptions this year. You have to be very nervous when the ball gets tipped.
Those balls are overly inflated with helium.
Right. So you know how my team feels about overinflated balls. We want ours at the minimum. So there's less tips.
74 could not handle your end rush. Go deep. Oh, wow. Got hands on it. He put paws on it.
Maybe needed it a second earlier. But there's Olsen coming up for Cam as he largely does.
Madden route that's still way too OP. And there's me trying to throw it high to Ted Ginn.
The slant route is a little too...
Again, me throwing high.
Look at that now.
That's the game in a nutshell.
Yes, that play. If you want to know what the game is about this year, watch the two defenders get completely burned on that. And this early in the year, we haven't even played an official game. This is preseason. And you're recovering onside kicks.
Very first recovered onside kick.
All year last year you had two.
All year last year there was two.
Two for you, 0 for me.
Snags it because Cam's overthrowing like crazy. But
there was reason to believe. That pass was going to be a success, and we were going to be tied up.
You look at the angle on it, and he gets there.
Your guy maybe had he gone up, would have. I feel would have had the advantage. Nice run by Blunt, and he's going to fight like Blunt does at the end and bulldoze 4 Panthers on his way to the ground.
He did that.
And then Brady's just playing for the sake of playing with these last 11 seconds.
Let's get that. That's mine too, right?
No, here's the game again for you.
Yeah, that's the game doing what the game do.
He goes up. I mean, there's guys all around him, but
no one's on
his arms this time, and that's the difference. All right, Gronkowski. Well, let's go home.
Yeah.
Riverboat Ron.
Gronk is clearly a beast train. He's clearly a beast train, and the highest rated player on the Patriots team.
Yes. And If all goes well, you'll see a lot of him. Let's hope he stays healthy.
So who's the highest rated active player you think in the league right now on the game?
That's a good question. We should take a look at that.
Is thinking about that right now, thinking about Gronkowski being a 91 and the highest overall player?
Highest rated player that's not a kicker or a punter.
You think the kickers are higher rated?
I think there's a possibility that one of the best players in the game is a kicker because of the way that they would evaluate that position.
Sure.
I do remember when we were going over the team stats on our live stream marathon pre-release that one of the team's best 3 players was a kicker.
Okay.
And we were saying, well, that's great that you have a great kicker, but that's not the kind of thing you want to know about when you're picking your team. You want to know that how things are going to be without the field goal.
Fair enough.
We'll take a look at that and report back.
Yeah, so good game, solid preseason game. What do you think of the Patriots so far?
Those corners are a little scary.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team is feeling pretty good. The offense is largely the same offense that I ran last year because I put Blunt in for the large majority of the games.
Sure. My
playbook, they have taken some things away from my playbook and added some things, and I'll have to adapt to that or find a playbook that I like. But if hopefully those corners perform well in the first weeks of the year, and they'll get a little stat boost. And other than that, I think the Patriots are pretty highly rated and good team.
I like it.
Thanks for checking out the Patriots preseason game. And while you're at it, why don't you take a look at the Eagles preseason game, and we'll see you there.
Eagles. Eagles. Okay.
Thanks.
And Pats. It's a Pats shot. Thanks, guys.